Hey guys, VALTORIOUS the AWOKEN here. So tonight's review, midnight review, we're gonna be talking about Baki the Grappler. Now, Baki, I was gonna say broccoli, Baki the Grappler. I guess it was what, season 1, right? Now, season 1 of Baki was good. It was really good because when you first like watch Baki, right? From when I first saw it, I thought it was like Street Fighter, right? Like either a knockoff version of Street Fighter or just some sort of like anime that has something that it's related to Street Fighter in some sort of way. That's what I always thought it was. But then when you watch it, it's different, right? Like it's kind of similar in some parts, but I guess you could say the rest of it is somewhat different because it starts off where Baki, he's basically like fighting like against like I guess small gangs, right? Or delinquents like he was, right? So he was beating up I guess a small pack of people. And then later on, like, you see him in the gym training and stuff, because there was a point in time that he kind of wanted to be like his father Yujiro. He wanted to be like him. So later on, that's when he like meets other people. He started like fighting, and then he was in the cave. No, he was in the mountains, I believe, and he went up against this ape. And then I believe he lost against the ape. Then he was training to beat the ape. Then he eventually beat the ape. Let's see what happened. I know something happened to the ape where he ate the bones or the teeth of the ape and stuff because he was trying to enhance his strength. But this was like later on, during like the episodes in the show and stuff, because he later came across this guy named Kaneyama or Haneyama. He went up against him, and he's basically like this 20-year-old leader of like the Yakuza and stuff. And it's cool because he has like a tattoo, like I believe that's on his back, and it had like an origin story where it was this guy or somebody that was in part of the family, and I think he was being tortured or whatever, but he would not move. Like he was like this rock, like this made of steel. Like he wouldn't move of anything and stuff. And I was like, I liked it, the little origin story of how they was explaining his part and how him and Baki fought for like a little bit. Next thing you know, you see some freaking ninja dude coming through the window, and it was Yujiro. And then I believe Yujiro fought Haneyama. He beat Haneyama, and then that's when he just looked at Baki. He was like, "You call yourself my son? Like, get out of here with that." I was like, "You shit, Yujiro." Like, the one thing about the entire series of Baki, Yujiro Hama was like, he is like my fan favorite guy throughout the entire series, because it's like this dude, like the origin story of this man was beautiful. You thought Deathstroke from DC was great, where he enlisted into the military when he was like, what, I think 15, 16, 17, one of those age groups that he was in the military for. This dude basically was like in the jungles killing soldiers, killing US soldiers. He was bodying them. This man fought a war by himself. He fought a war by himself. And the crazy part about this was how in the DC comics, where Deathstroke fell in love with, I believe it was this military woman, and then he had kids by her. It was almost the exact same thing with Yujiro, where I think he fell in love with this woman, and then he had a son named Jack Hanma. Zama, but then later on it was Hama. But but he just freaking bodied them until they just said, listen, you're the strongest creature, we won't bother you, just stop. Just stop, we won't fuck with you, stop. And that's how crazy Yujiro was. Nobody was fucking with Yujiro, the strongest creature in the world. And then I didn't even know, when I was looking through like some of the old clips and stuff, I didn't know the ogre, not the ogre, Mr. Oliver, yeah, Mr. Oliver. I didn't know that he was in there and stuff until I seen like a clip, and I was like, oh yeah, you was in that, you was in the other one. I was like, okay. And it was kind of crazy because they knew each other, and I guess they kind of fought, for like a little bit and stuff. So I was like, okay. But Baki the Grappler is insane. It's just insane, because when you look at Yujiro, you kind of think of him like Akuma, right? You kind of think of him like Akuma. Now, I don't know like would have like stuff that happened in the manga, like if there's more to like his character besides the stuff that we seen in the anime. I don't know if like did he become like, because you know how Akuma was, where he was like, oh, Akuma once was good until, you know, he learned the dark stuff, and then that's when the raging demon, all this crazy stuff happened, and he had his own moon, he had his own aura. It was crazy for Akuma. But then when you look at Yujiro, he got the ogre on his back, so he got the demon on his back, so it's like it makes him like powerful. Now I'm not saying the ogre on his back make him powerful, because the man was fighting, he was, like I said before, he was in the jungle fighting wars, killing people, and I'm like, Jesus, like, my boy, by yourself. Like, the man was in the bedroom and they was checking on one of the, I guess, their soldiers and stuff. He was like, oh, you okay? He ripped the face off of the guy and was beating the hell out of all of the people that was in it. So do you mean to tell me this man put on somebody else's face? Like, he's fucking what's his name, Leatherface, like he's fucking Leatherface, pulling people's faces off and started killing people. I said, yo, I'm done. I'm fucking done. Yujiro's fucking crazy. But yeah, it gets crazier like later on, where Baki was training. Like, he did, I believe, was it a year or 6 months, or I believe it was like a couple of months of training, because after when he was seeing how Yujiro was towards him, he was like, I don't think I want to be like my father anymore. I want to beat my father. So he went to training for like a little bit. So when Baki fought Yujiro for the first time, that's when they, well, you know, it didn't really work out that well, because Yujiro was just standing there. Baki was doing all these crazy kicks and all this crazy stuff. It didn't phase him. And then there was like this earthquake that happened. Yujiro punched the ground. It was just saying like, wait, he stopped the earthquake with his fist? Hold up, that can't be right. That just cannot be right. He did that with his fist. So I was like, okay, Yujiro, okay, I see you, you know. But then once when Yujiro was like, he got fed up and he started beating the hell out of Baki and stuff, because he was like, what are you doing? You supposed to be my son. The mother came in and was like, whoa, you know, you beating up, like, because first she was down with Yujiro, because how Yujiro met, you know, Baki's mother, I think it was through some event, and then that's when you know, she just couldn't get enough of him. Then he was like, oh, you gonna have my child, this and that and stuff. But she was team Yujiro until she started to see like, hold up, you beating the hell out of our kid here. Stop this. Then he looked at her, he said, woman, don't you ever touch me. Grabbed her, snapped her ass in half and killed her. And then that's when, you know, Baki just looked at her, and then it just broke him. And then I believe he went on I think it was either a year or two, or a 2-year journey to train. And then that's when they had like this tournament. So everybody throughout the world came and stuff, and that's when they had like the tournament. Then you see Doppo Orochi. Oh my god, Doppo Orochi's my man too. You gotta put some respect on my boy's name. Yo, Doppo Orochi is my favorite too, because even though when him and Yujiro, when they fought in the tournament, it was kind of fucked up though, because I thought personally, like, I thought, you know, my man Doppo, I thought he had him, but Yujiro was just playing games, and he cost him his eye. I was like, damn, Yujiro, fucking crazy, man. But then in the tournament, you know, Baki was going up against like some peoples, and he was beating them. Then he went up against this guy, I think it was Retsu. I could be wrong about that name, I could be wrong, but I think it was Retsu that he went up against in the tournament. And that's when the ogre started to come out on his back, because Baki was about to kill this man, and he was enjoying it. And I believe Yujiro was watching it, and I think he was saying, that's my boy, I like what I was seeing here and stuff, until eventually Baki snapped out of it and was like, oh, this is wrong. And that's when the ogre like kind of it didn't pop out. It almost did, but it kind of like went away. He beat the dude. And then in the finals, he went up against his brother, but he didn't know it was his brother, because his name was Jack Zama, and he was basically like on these drugs and stuff. And when you see Jack Zama, you almost think of the guy in Rocky. What is his name? Ivan Drago. Yes, You almost think of him as Ivan Drago because how with the whole 2000 PSIs, how he was like on these enhancement drugs and stuff, even though, you know, Ivan Drago was different. But, you know, it almost kind of reminds you of that scene and stuff because you see him training and he punching the hell out of bears like he's Sagat, Tiger uppercut and shit. I'm like, yo, what's going on with this dude, right? So you find out he was just on these enhancement drugs because his body was skinny and he didn't like train it naturally. He was just on these drugs and stuff. And then when he fought up against Baki in the tournament, Baki was having problems because he said that if he would have, I think if the fight would have went a little bit longer, he probably would have passed out. So it was a quite interesting fight because Baki didn't know that that was his brother, and to you know, he was like, oh, you find out his name is you know, Jack Hanma and stuff because apparently he, well, like I said before, like Yujiro kind of like with the previous woman he had with her and stuff, and it was like, oh, they have a kid together and stuff. And then that's when you know, Jack's, I guess, goal was to, I guess, win his father's love, or he wanted to defeat his father. I forgot what was the two, but I think he wanted to defeat his father, right? And then that's when Baki and Jack was fighting and stuff, and then that's when Baki broke Jack's teeth because he had him in a head, like a chokehold headlock, and then that's when he kind of like destroyed his teeth. And then that's when Baki won the tournament and stuff. And then it was crazy. It was freaking crazy because all the people that they had, Baki had to go through in order for him to win the tournament. And then that's when, I wouldn't say he became like, well, he became like, I guess you could say like not the strongest person in the world, but the, I guess, most known person when it came to like in the tournament and the fighting, where people was just like, oh, okay, Baki, like that's the guy. He beat everybody in the tournament except for, you know, a handful of people, like, you know, people who wasn't in the tournament, like Yujiro and stuff. Because if Yujiro would have participated in the tournament, everybody would have lost. That wrestling guy, that red suit, everybody would have lost. Everybody would have lost because freaking this dude, the world's strongest creature, like, you don't title a man the world's strongest creature without anything. Sure, it kind of sounds, like I said before, like how when you think of Akuma, and it just sounds, it sounds like the same and stuff, because how Akuma is with Ryu, you know, it's like how, you know, Yujiro is with Baki and stuff. I just love the entirety of this entire show. I was like, yo, this show is great. Like, when first time watching it, I didn't quite understand. Then I was liking it some more with these characters and stuff. And there's so much development with these characters because the one thing about Baki the Grappler I like, they don't even get like disbarred or anything like how you be seeing in some other like animes or whatever, like Dragon Ball Z, like for instance. It's like, okay, you have Goku and Vegeta, okay, but what about everybody else? Like, what about, where's Piccolo's development? Where's Gohan's development? Where's Tien's development? Where's Krillin's development? Where's these people's types of development except for the main two people? Like, yeah, we get it, but where are their developments? With Baki, man, everybody is getting love, and that's what I like. I like that everybody, in some sort of form of fashion, they get in some sort of form of love where everybody is getting that type of character development where it's like, okay, I got beat before, I'm not going to get beat again. Okay, I'm going to learn from my mistakes. I'm not going to do this again. Okay, you did this to me. I make sure I'm not going to do that. And I just love it. And I'm like, that's how some animes is supposed to be. It's supposed to have like some sort of form of character development where you can get emotionally, I guess you could say, emotionally invested into these characters without feeling like, well, damn, there's a few characters that's getting developments, but other characters is just getting shitted on. And I was like, nah, with Baki the Grappler, yo, everybody's getting that character development work, and I love it. So I encourage anybody who've never heard of Baki the Grappler, never seen it, you know, not even got a taste or a lick of it, take a look at, you know, Baki the Grappler, like season 1 and 2, right? Yeah, because yeah, take a look at, you know, both seasons and stuff. You will not be disappointed. Because, like I said before, there's a lot of crazy shit that happened in Baki. I believe there's stuff that happened in the manga that's way beyond that and stuff. But I'm telling you, it's insane. It's gorgeous. It's wonderful. But yeah, you know, if you heard, oh Jesus Christ, I'm all over the place. if you like what you heard and you heard what you like, you know, please subscribe, share, do all that wonderful stuff, and I'll catch you later.